Welcome to the Browns table. I'm here with Fatty. My name is Craig. How's it going, Fatty?
What's going on, brother? I am playing like Adam Schefter over here, just checking my phone every 5 seconds.
What are we breaking any news tonight live on the show?
No. I was just sharing the show to multiple people. So, no,
well,
I was trying to get it out and I screwed up. So, guess what? We're here. We're live. So, let's do it.
We're live. Yeah, and anybody that wants to join us in conversation, the whole point of the show is to be a Browns roundtable discussion. Fans can join us via audio or video chat. There is a link in the comments. We are live all at the same time on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Periscope and Twitter, Twitch today. We're playing with Twitch, seeing how that goes. And we would love for you to join us. If you want to comment on any of our videos that are live, we'll be able to display and address those as well. So I would encourage anybody that wants to talk Browns to join the show, even if it's just for a minute.
All right.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get into the show.
Right?
What's that?
It's been 2 weeks. We got news, right?
We do have news. The Browns, they've been getting snubbed in the media. I'm starting to get pretty offended.
I think I know what you're talking about.
We have a list of snubs, and some of these are just crazy. Some of them are crazy. One of the chief offenders is consistently an offender when it comes to snubbing the Browns, and that is Pete Prisco with CBS. And he's only got 5 of our guys in his top 100 list. Now, this list came out about a week ago on the 1st. It's been a talking point ever since, with a number of teams snubbed in this list. Some of the players on this list and the order in which these players are listed just blows my mind. Now, the 5 guys that we do have: number 9, we have Myles Garrett. We don't have another guy until number 63. And 10 or 20 spots behind Zeke Elliott is the one and only Nick Chubb. Mind-blowing. Don't understand. We have OBJ at 81, Joel Bitonio at 86, and Wyatt Teller at 96. This is unbelievable. It's criminal.
Isn't it?
What's that?
Something special, isn't it?
It is something special. I don't understand this. There's a lot of players at the top of this list or towards the top that I just don't understand. We're missing guys like Jack Conklin, first-team All-Pro. I mean, how do you leave a first-team All-Pro off of this list?
Well, with Pete Prisco, he likes to do that and put quarterbacks on there, unlike our quarterback. Joe Burrow made the list at 95.
And Baker Mayfield isn't even on it.
He's not on it. Jarvis isn't on it. Landry's not on it. So
it's mind-blowing. I can't believe this list. This was awful. Baker Mayfield not being on the list and Joe Burrow being on there, that's no good. Lamar Jackson's on this list. Ben Roethlisberger is not. But I think that Conklin should for sure be on this list. And if you're going to put Burrow on this list, he's got to be behind Baker somewhere. I don't really see it. And then Nick Chubb at 63, I think, is probably that's the worst of them all.
Tragic. Nick Chubb is a top 20 player, hands down. And for him to be at 63 is, and especially to have Elliott above him, okay. Pete Prisco came on the morning show with Ken Carman and Anthony Lima, and they bashed him for this whole travesty of Nick Chubb being 63 because he tried to say that, Zeke Elliott's offensive line was crap. Well, you also got to factor in that Nick Chubb didn't have a complete offensive line at all. They only played together for 8 weeks. The rest of the time he did it himself. And don't forget, the year before that, he did it with Freddie Kitchens with an offensive line that was garbage.
I mean, that was the obvious number one priority coming out of the 19 season was the offensive line. And last year, what did Chubb play? 12 games?
Yes.
12 games, and he still rushed for over 1,000 yards. He upped his yards per carry by 0.6. He went from 5.0 to 5.6, which is outstanding. And then, they got guys like Zeke Elliott ahead of him. Christian McCaffrey, okay, I know Christian McCaffrey came in, made a lot of noise. He was a difference maker, kind of like Mahomes was a difference maker at another position. But this guy only plays 3 games, and he's coming back from major injuries, and he's listed at 21. So some of these picks seem to be what they could be if they came back from their injury. OBJ was mentioned at number 81. He said, well, this isn't what OBJ is. It's what I think he could be. So he's grading players sometimes on what they could be, sometimes what they are. It's just all over the place. This is I'm throwing it out. I'm done.
Hey, he's got Justin Herbert at 38 above Nick Chubb.
It's
like I mean, some of the names I get because there's a lot of defense. Justin Jefferson above Nick Chubb. All right. Rookie. He's in his second year.
Other notable players ahead of Nick Chubb, Budda Baker, Darius Leonard.
Dak
a lot. Yeah. It's crazy. And Grady Jarrett.
Jesse Bates from Cincinnati.
Yeah.
With my last name, I mean, I'm going to root for him, but I didn't know who the heck that guy was. Like, it's Patrick, Demario Davis, Mike Evans, and then Nick Chubb. And then right after Nick Chubb, you got JJ Watt at 66. Like, I'm sitting, why do the national media hate the Browns?
They do. And this is not the only place we're getting snubbed. Okay. LaDanian Tomlinson, one of the best to ever play, right? He's one of the best to ever play. It's something I'll always remember as a child watching that guy play. He was insane. What he's not so good is at giving opinions, because he left Nick Chubb off of his top 5 running backs list for this year due to his lack of second level speed. This man has never watched Nick Chubb play.
Hey,
there's no way.
He has ran so fast that Baker probably clocked the highest quarterback speed that Baker will ever clock, just running him down for a touchdown.
Right. And
once he gets in the secondary, he's gone. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That was like the snub about Chubb. Snub and Chubb, got it? Yeah. But that was the snub about Chubb coming out, is he was not a electrifier when it comes to speed. But ever since that he has touched the football here in Cleveland, he has the most breakaway touchdown runs. And it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Why would you think that he does not have breakaway speed?
Well, the proof is in the numbers, and stats don't lie. And in some applications, stats don't need to be part of the conversation. But in this one, they absolutely do, because we have NFL Next Gen stats. And Nick Chubb was tied with Christian McCaffrey for the 4th fastest ball carrier in 2019. 21.95 miles per hour on an 88-yard run versus Baltimore. That would have been 5th best in 2020. Now, Christian McCaffrey, I believe, was his top-ranked running back on this list, and also number 20 on the top 100. So it's just, I feel like they're not playing fair.
No,
they definitely do not like the Browns in the national media. And we could win the Super Bowl, they'll still say we suck.
Yeah, I understand. The thing that gets me the most is I think Chubb is getting penalized because Kareem Hunt's here.
I can see that a little bit.
That's just me personally, because no other running back has a Kareem Hunt behind him. I mean, Derrick Henry's taking the bulk. You got Elliott taking the bulk. You got Kamara taking the bulk. Christian McCaffrey's taking the bulk now. What would happen if we gave Nick Chubb the bulk of the carries? That's what I want to know. I think he might be up there with Derrick Henry.
I agree 100%. I think that if Nick Chubb got the ball 100% of the time, he would be right there with Derrick Henry. What's up, BJ? How's it going?
I'm here.
I see that. Uh-oh. Craig has left for a second. So, BJ, what do you think about the Pete Prisco snubbing us?
You're talking about him leaving Nick Chubb off the top 5, right?
Oh, yeah. Or at least the top 20.
You know, I think he spends all of his money on cocaine and hookers.
Here we go with the cocaine and hookers again.
Gotta be high.
Oh
man. So
sorry, we're going there again.
So are you in the office today, BJ?
Every
day on call. Well, we appreciate you coming in, and we have one more guy to talk about that is snubbing the Browns in the national media. It's not just Pete Prisco. It's not just LaDanian Tomlinson. It is Bill Barnwell of ESPN. Fatty, tell us what this man said.
So he did his ranking on the offseason, and who had the best offseason so far. He had, and I got to bring it up, the Browns were 10th. And what he actually said for the Browns, that they actually swapped out with Olivier Vernon, Ogunjobi, and Shelton Richardson, and just kind of traded it for Clowney, Tack McKinley, and Malik Jackson. He does say that the good thing they did was Newsome and JOK, but I don't understand how we're 10th. We completely shored up our defense in one offseason like we did the offense the other offseason.
So did he completely leave Troy Hill and John Johnson out of this conversation?
Oh, no, they're in there. That he loves those, but he thinks that the fact that our defensive line didn't get better, he kind of just says it's kind of the same as it was last year.
I would definitely argue that our defensive line got better. I mean, it's one of those things where I don't think you can just say that we traded in, basically just stayed where we were at. I don't think we're trading water. I think we definitely got better on the defensive line. Is there work to do? 100%. And maybe we'll still see Sheldon Richardson come on if he's not available or not cheap enough. There's still guys out there like Geno Atkins, something like that. But the leap we took on defense, even not considering people coming back from injuries, okay, because maybe that doesn't get factored into how good your offseason was. Even take the injury comebacks out of it, I still think that there's no reason why the Browns aren't top 5 in this category.
Yeah, I don't, especially with you have the Patriots there at 2. All they did was spend money in free agency and got some tight ends. I'm not understanding. And, you have the 49ers above them. You have the Ravens. What did the Ravens do to get so much better that they were ranked, what was it, 6th? Let me check. Nope. 5th. Nope. 4th. Nope. Yep. 4th. They were ranked 4th because they got Zeitler and 48-year-old Villanueva.
Well, Zeitler's no spring chicken either. I mean,
no, but I mean, I'm just saying, like, why did you have? Because Sammy Watkins, well, he's going to have an ankle injury at some point in time. You drafted a wide receiver. Well, that's cute. You haven't done anything else. So I don't understand why they get so much play over the Browns. Steelers get so much play over the Browns. It is like we are still a laughingstock and we're not there yet. Even after last year.
I say keep on bringing it. It's bulletin board material. I know a lot of people don't believe that, but I think that we have a lot of guys on this team that buy into the bulletin board material. And this is just, this week. If you go back, it's insane the amount of disrespect that the Browns get. Moving on. Julio Jones. We're moving on, Fatty. Julio Jones went to the Titans. This changes the landscape of the AFC when it comes to playoff contention. True or false? What do you say, Fatty?
True. Even though Tennessee's defense is still suspect, that kind of legitimate. I mean, they lost Corey Davis, so they got a pretty much Hall of Fame wide receiver, I think, and Julio Jones to go next to A.J. Brown. As a quarterback, would you want to cover those two?
No, absolutely not.
A.J. Brown's what, like 250?
That's a big man.
I know.
Actually, he's A.J. Brown. So isn't he shorter than he looks, though? I mean, I know he's a big guy, but let's see here.
Well, you're going to have to pull it up because
he's only 6 foot. He's 6 foot 225. That dude looks like a monster.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like honestly, it looks like Clowney as a wide receiver. Like he is jacked. But no, I think they kind of put themselves into AFC contenders and their odds kind of jumped up a little bit. I think they're there with the Chiefs, the Ravens, the Browns, them, and the Bills. I think it's a five horse race.
Eric Dunlap says Browns run game and defense earned tons of respect after they beat the Steelers in the playoffs last year. They earned tons of respect, but it was still definitely the deficiency of this team. And it was ultimately what ended our season, letting anything happen against Kansas City. And really, I think with our upgraded defense, we actually would have added some wins last year. So I think that if they earn some respect, now they had that kind of gritty, scrappy kind of play style, like they bought in. They had a lot of effort, but I think that we are going to be far more skilled and athletic this year. So big things ahead for the Browns. BJ, what do you think of this Julio Jones to the Titans? Do you think that this threatens our playoff, our luck in the playoffs?
No, I mean, it's hard. This time of year, it looks good on paper, but until they put a product on the field, I mean, who knows? I don't think it does. I think the Browns are really, really talented. I think they're a lot more talented than the Titans. And let's be honest, they're just going to hand the ball off to Derrick Henry anyways.
I think that it'll definitely open some things up for that offense. And Ryan Tannehill, I've never been a huge Ryan Tannehill believer, but that man throws touchdowns. And, Julio Jones can open things up for A.J. Brown. Julio Jones is not a touchdown monster. I mean, he averages like 5 or 6 a year. Like, that's not where he wins you games. He's also averaging like almost 100 yards per game receiving. So what he's going to do is get you down the field, even if he doesn't hit pay dirt. But, if they can stretch the field, they can take some pressure off of Henry. He can take some pressure off of A.J. Brown, probably more than Corey Davis could. I think this is a nice setup. And while I don't think they're in that top tier with the Chiefs, the Bills, and the Browns, I do think that they're probably right in that next tier, along with just a couple other teams. So they're definitely going to threaten, and they could be a force to reckon with, especially towards the end of the season and into the playoffs. Last year, there was one team that I think we all didn't want to see in the playoffs, and that was really the Bills, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. I
think we're going to have that conversation about the Titans this coming years. Hopefully we don't play the Titans. I think that as long as Tannehill doesn't go backwards, that's going to be a conversation we're going to have.
Yeah, but their defense is still suspect. Like, it is really suspect. That's the thing. Like, their offense is legit. Don't get me wrong. I think their defense is what's going to be kind of, I don't know. I think that's what's going to keep them out of it.
All right. So Ed in Columbus says the media hates Baker, so Chubb must be Jim Brown. But no, they snub Chubb. Brown's just lucky. Come on.
I get it.
But it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out.
Hey, did you see this? Look at this.
Browns have no real threat in the AFC North. Oh man.
Wow.
This is Eric. Thanks for watching the show. Is this the guy that came on our show and said that Baker was dog water? I have to know.
No, it's not
Is he
him.
trolling us now? Okay.
No, it's not him. It's not him. So no. So
You sound like you know who this is. Who are we talking to?
So he has a podcast, and he is a friend of a friend, and I know him well. I've talked with him, but you still got to climb to the top of that mountain to get to that mountain. And guess what? We haven't beat the Ravens. We've finally conquered the Steelers for one season. Until we get above the Ravens and actually either split a series or win 2-0 against them, we're not I don't consider us contenders in the AFC North to win the title. Like, we're there. We just got to do it.
I think
we're just not
go
the
ahead,
favorite. BJ. There's a difference between being favorite. We're not contenders in the AFC North. I think it's a stretch, but I mean, you have to give it to the Ravens as being the favorites. To win it. I mean, Pittsburgh's regressed. Ben Roethlisberger's a year older. Their whole team's a year older. They lost their center. They lost Villanueva. Even though they won last year, they can't be favorites. I think the favorites to win the AFC North has to be the Ravens, like you said, because the Browns haven't beat them.
Yeah,
but we're definitely contenders.
Oh, I know, but until we're there, like we're now finally in the hunt after 20 years, but we're not at the top yet. And you got to climb to the top. I mean, we got one hurdle done, which was Pittsburgh in the playoffs and beat Pittsburgh in the playoffs. Next hurdle in Pittsburgh. Next hurdle is the Ravens.
I think that I don't think it's a stretch to say that we're contenders. I think contending is different from wearing the crown, so to speak. But Ed coming in with the jokes. I mean, I'm still laughing. I'm still laughing at Ed down there.
Hold on, let me bring it back up because that's really good.
Oh, I think Denzel might be retired. But no, man, I think I don't know. We got off the Titans thing, but Baltimore is probably a tougher matchup than the Titans. But the Titans. Look at the game we had against them last year. Julio Jones could have been the difference in that game. You know what I'm saying? Like, we were up 38-0, and then we were kind of fighting there at the end to keep a hold on things.
Yeah, but at that point in time, we weren't really putting the foot down on the pedal at that point in time, right?
That's true. We were playing the Joe Woods bend but kind of break defense.
Well, we also were playing let's get 2 yards, eat some clock, and not try anything aggressive on offense too.
That's fair. Moving on. Let's was there anything else you wanted to say about the Julio Jones situation? Are you surprised they only got a second round pick for him?
Yeah, I'm kind of
really
surprised. Well, and the reason why is there was a lot of suitors for what they wanted. A first round pick.
Yeah,
they ended up getting a second and a next year 4 or next year 6. It ended up being something weird but that's also a lot of salary to take on for a year.
Yeah. And
the Titans have still got to, make some cap space for it to happen. But yeah, I mean, I'm kind of shocked. Like, the one thing that scared me the most is I thought he was going to go to Baltimore. That was the one thing that kind of scared me a little bit, because I think him at Baltimore would have made Baltimore really scary. It really would have.
I would have secretly, been a little nervous, but I don't know that they could get him the ball or that they would even try that hard. I mean, Lamar Jackson can throw the ball occasionally, but he's not. If you take his legs away, he's not a top quarterback in the NFL. I'm not that scared of his arm. Well, he's clutch. I'll give him that. He's clutch.
Yeah, when he comes out of a bathroom.
Right. Oh, man, that was good.
I mean, I always feel 10 pounds lighter when I come out of the bathroom, too.
All right. What do we got next? Oh, what do you got for the charity event coming up in July? Did you want to mention that?
Oh, July 10th with Top Dog
Yes.
Tailgate? Yes. Top Dog Tailgate is doing a City Dogs of Cleveland charity event, and they are doing a $10 food ticket. Come out. They got music. They got food. They got cornhole. I will be there. I believe Craig might be there. I still have to double check with him. But Illegal Ham in the Face will be there. Craig probably will be there. We have other guests. But it's for a good cause. Come and check it out. I think, Craig, you're sitting at a table next to me, right?
That's the plan.
All right.
So hopefully that works out.
All right. Well, I mean, just come out. It's $10 for the food ticket. Just come out and enjoy the day. It's in Berea at the W&J Green Lodge in Berea. So check them out. Find them on Twitter. It's at Top Dog Tailgate at West 3rd and Summit. So check them out. They have everything on there, and hit them up because it's going to be a good time.
Speaking of charity, OBJ has committed to playing Jarvis Landry's charity softball game. Is this where we're going to what?
What?
Oh, you're shaking your head.
Yeah, I don't think he should play it after he blew out his knee. What do you
I know.
think?
I think he should be retired from softball, but everybody's going to be anxious to see his legs. So you're going to have a pinch. He better have a pinch runner.
I think
he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Oh man,
That
would be
5 games to get injured again, and then next thing you know, we won't see him until next year.
That would be such a Browns way to lose a guy for a year, though. Man, GOK signed his rookie deal, so we got him signed on. Just waiting for some of the other signings, including Greg Newsome. He fired his agent. These are just some quick, news bits. Nothing we have to really go into. I don't know what that's about. Have you guys heard anything about why he fired his agent?
I have not heard anything, but there's only 2 people left unsigned, I think, and I think it's him and Schwartz.
Okay. All right. So nothing to be too concerned about, I don't think. Let's go ahead.
Pretty much.
What's that?
Aren't them rookie deals pretty much like they are what they are anyways?
Yeah, but
yeah,
it might be his agent there's still fine print in there that they put in. Like the money is kind of set, but there's still some other stuff that they got to put in. And it sounds like his agent didn't put that stuff in.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so there is still some flexibility about how and when you're paid and some different things like that. And the first round one is a little bit different because they got those 5th-year options and some things like that. So maybe it had something to do with that. What do we got here? Brown should have traded OBJ to the Patriots for Harry and a draft pick. No. I'm assuming he's talking about N'Keal Harry, right?
I think so.
Okay.
No.
We'll keep OBJ. A lot of people think we should have traded OBJ, but I want OBJ here. I think it's one of the best things for us. He says yes, we say no. So
do you think we could get the type of deal for OBJ that the Falcons got for Julio?
I think we could get a better deal for OBJ than Julio.
You can't say that because he hasn't done anything in so long. And he's injury prone.
Okay, we can debate this. OBJ is 4 years younger. He's got a higher ceiling. He actually scores touchdowns.
Hold on. Do we know that he has a higher ceiling?
Yes.
Are we sure about that? Because he can't stay healthy.
You think he's topped? You think he's maxed himself out?
No, I'm not saying that, but he's had one good year and he's been injured for like 5 straight years. So what are we going to do here?
All right. So would you have traded OBJ for Julio Jones straight up?
Honestly, probably. Because at least you have to guarantee that a guy is going to play for you. Now, granted, Julio got hurt last year, But look at Julio's track record. It's not like OBJ's track record.
I don't think. Go ahead, BJ.
I might have. That's the thing. And Julio doesn't have the pursuit that OBJ does, and I'm really worried about Baker trying to feed him the ball again this year. Like I hope that Baker's kind of got away from that, but I don't know. It's kind of like addition by subtraction. There's no argument of the kind of talent that OBJ is. I mean, that is what it is. But he's just got so many extra factors that scares me.
See, I think I'm in the minority here because I would take OBJ over Julio. The guy,
healthy OBJ, yes, but can we guarantee he's going to be healthy again? No, because he hasn't proven it yet.
We should have had this, and we might have. Refresh my memory. Do we have this argument about Clowney? Because you were the Clowney bandwagon guy.
Oh, Clowney,
if he's healthy.
If he's healthy, yes, because Clowney sets an edge that Vernon couldn't. It's weird how this is going to. Why are we going down this road? I don't know, but we're going to go down it. If somebody is healthy and has the talent of Clowney and OBJ, yes, you take them, but they got to be healthy. If they're not healthy, what is the old adage? If you're on the field, you produce. Rather be on the field than on the sidelines. And since OBJ has been here, he's been on the sidelines.
He's won us some games, almost single-handedly.
One game, and it was the Cowboys.
Okay. A lot of OBJ hate in this room right now. Well, I don't know how I feel about that.
Get Okafor on here. Let him hash it out. Are you? Oh, now you're going to look back for your OBJ stuff? Yeah, it's okay. Go ahead back here.
I feel like you need to apologize to OBJ. He deserves an apology.
All right. Sorry, OBJ. I want you to get
all right. We're good.
Browns. Just like I had to do with Tebow and Lawrence. All right.
Oh, Jesus.
Do you have the sound clip?
I don't have the sound clip on here, but we definitely started using that on the podcast. Anytime French says Trevor Lawrence, we play you saying, "I hope he blows out his knee." I added it as a sound bite on there, so French was like, "What the hell?" But okay, so one of those underrated Browns guys that was always one of my favorite guys. He's actually going to be coaching the special teams for the Jaguars. Good old Nick Sorensen.
Oh,
remember good old Nick Sorensen?
I do.
He's got a coaching gig.
Wow, I cannot believe.
Congrats to him.
I bet you French is all sorts of excited.
All right, so moving on, we are going to talk about the AFC North post-draft. Let's just kind of go through the teams one by one. Just give me, Fatty, what you think of these teams, and BJ, what do you think of these teams coming out of the draft? We'll go through the Bengals, then the Steelers, then the Ravens, and then we'll kind of see how we think this division is going to shake out. Let's start with the Bengals. Fatty, what do you think? How did the Bengals handle this offseason so far?
So far, I don't understand why they got a wide receiver right out of the gate. I would have taken somebody to protect Joe Burrow because, as you can see, Joe Burrow is still sidelined with a knee injury because he got crushed all year. So they got him a wide receiver. They added some few other things. I mean, I like Joe Burrow. I like what they're trying to do there. It's just that offensive line is still sketchy. And you should address it. You should have taken the best tackle there and been done with it because you need somebody to protect him.
I think that I think they're okay taking a wide receiver there. I wasn't real impressed with the offensive linemen that were available right there. I think they would have had to reach, and I think Sewell was kind of overrated. So, if Kyle Pitts is available, I think you take Kyle Pitts there. He wasn't. So, I don't know. I think they made the right move. So who do you think they should have taken in that spot? You think they should have taken Sewell?
I think they should have taken whoever they wanted that would play on the offensive line, because at that point in time, all I would do if I was the head coach is go to the GM and just replay Joe Burrow's knee injury and just replay it. Be like, this is why. Right here. Right there it is. Look at that. Can't block. Look at that. They need offensive line help. They really do. I mean, they got Mixon. They got other wide receivers that they could use. And I understand AJ Green's gone. Thank you, Eric. But still, a point in time, you can't take a skill position unless this guy is just off the charts, their top guy. Then kudos to them, but still not going to save Joe Burrow's kneecaps.
BJ, how do you think they came out of this draft and out of this offseason so far before we get to training camp? What stands out to you in Kansas City? Were they right in drafting a wide receiver there?
You mean Cincinnati?
Yeah, Cincinnati. My bad.
No, they should have absolutely took the best offensive lineman available. Like, I'm with Fatty on that. Like, you got a franchise quarterback. You have to do everything you can to protect him. Like, you have to have the best offensive lineman at that spot. You have to. It's just, you can't tell me that, whoever they got later on, there wasn't somebody better then. Even if they had to reach, you have to have the best offensive line. You get this guy's going to be your franchise quarterback. You got to protect him. If not, he's going to have another blown out knee again. And, it's going to be another Andrew Luck situation.
All right. So I definitely think that they were okay with wide receiver. Like I said, I don't think that the offensive linemen that they needed were there. But I think that these guys are in a good spot. And this division is going to be tough.
Yes,
the more we're going to talk about it, the tougher we're going to realize the division is going to be. Before we move on to the next team, if you're watching, just remember there's a link in the comments. You can click to join. You can join us via audio or video chat. We're having a Browns Roundtable discussion, and everybody's invited to join. Let's move on to the Steelers. Fatty, I know that you hated their first round pick. I liked it. I liked their first round pick. But tell me what you think about the Steelers offseason.
Oh my Lord. You lose pretty much your entire offensive line. One retires, one's at the Ravens now. And you draft a running back because you think he's going to be the savior for you. He's not. You still have Big Ben throwing noodles out there. And why would you draft a running back in the first round? At that point in time, where they were drafting at, where were they drafting at? They're right before us at 25, right?
24, 25.
24 or 25. At that point in time, you could have taken anybody else but a running back. You could have got a running back in the second, third round, but you decided to take Najee Harris. And you know something? I hope it works out for you. I don't think it will, but good luck, because this is probably their last year that they're going to run this back. And if Najee Harris doesn't work out for them, Steelers are getting blown up.
For the record, I don't think that the Steelers are going to be as much of an issue in the AFC North as they usually are. I don't think they got that much better. Even with less of a line, I think that they'll be able to run the ball effectively with Harris. And I think that, at times, teams are going to struggle to defend that. But I don't think that overall they got any better. I don't think that overall they're a better team going into this year, as compared to last year. Now, last year they went, there was talk like, are the Steelers going to go undefeated? And then they completely shit the bed. And I think we're going to see a continuation of that going into this season. They're either inexperienced, lack depth at positions, or just not talented in a lot of spots. They definitely regressed, I think. So do they have some great players? Sure. They have some great players, but they lost a lot of guys and weren't able to make up the ground. BJ, what do you think about the Steelers offseason?
They definitely regressed. They're going to finish last. They're last in the division.
Ooh.
All right.
All right.
I like it.
There's no doubt that Baltimore's better than them, right?
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
We're better than them, right?
Yeah.
The Steelers definitely trending down. Do you think Cincinnati can beat them?
Oh, that'd be so. Hey, that's like music to my ears right now.
Right.
Oh, my Lord.
Nope.
Hey, hold on. Just because of that?
There you go. Chug, chug, chug.
Yeah.
Rumor has it Fireball is sending Fatty a package in the mail.
They are.
They are.
I asked them for a sponsorship, and they're like, we have obligations, but thank you for reaching out to us. I'm like, oh, you'll love me. So then they said, we'll send you a package. I said, okay, here we go.
All right. So moving on to the Ratbirds, we have the Ravens up next. Now, the Ravens, I don't know. I mean, I don't think these guys got any worse, which is kind of concerning. What do you think, Fatty?
Oh, yeah, they did not get worse. They took one of my favorite wide receivers in the draft, Rashard Bateman. That kid, they finally swung, but what they did to trade Orlando Brown to get another first-round pick, genius on their part, because now they got Zeitler, they got Villanueva, they shored up their interior offensive line, and they got skill position. So I can't wait to see what they do, because that was the one thing that kind of killed them is they didn't have a wide receiver. They had the running backs and they had a tight end, but they really didn't have that top tier wide receiver. And I can't wait to see what they do now, because they're trying to play matchup with us on offense. So let's see what happens.
Now, last year, it took them a while to figure out who their running back should be, and I think J.K. Dobbins really came on towards the end of the year. Is J.K. Dobbins the next big force at running back going into year two? Is he going to be one of the premier running backs in the league? Because a lot of the national media has this guy so high on a pedestal. And then I'm in here in Ohio State country, and everybody thinks he's the best thing since Zeke Elliott. Is this guy a superstar?
He has the making of it, bud. I'm sorry to tell you.
But is he?
Is he?
I
think he can get there.
I don't think he's the Nick Chubb level, but he's a top 10 running back in the league, probably.
Is he going to be the best running back in Baltimore since Jamal Lewis?
Oh. Time will tell. I'm not going to say yes, because Jamal Lewis.
He has a shot. I mean, since Jamal, he has a shot. He has a shot.
I think he's right up there with it if he continues to trend up.
So if you have to face one running back in the division, Joe Mixon, Harris, or Dobbins, who do you want to face the least? Does that make sense? Like, who are you most fearful of?
Mixon. Always
Okay.
Mixon. For some odd reason, Mixon scares the crap out of me, because he's also that pass-catching running back too. And just something about him. Like, Dobbins, but Mixon is the guy that can actually turn it up and get 100 yards receiving and 100 yards rushing. Like, he could be that kind of guy.
The other thing Baltimore has is a great they've got a great 1-2 punch. And they just re-signed Gus Edwards. Edwards has always been actually really good for them. He scares me sometimes when we're playing the Ravens, because he's just, I don't think he's a number one roster spot kind of guy, but that guy's pretty talented. I think they got a good guy there in number 2.
Where's BJ going? Is he getting the blow?
I don't know. He's going somewhere.
Oh boy.
I feel like we're watching a Justin Bieber music video.
Oh, I thought he was getting the pink swan.
No, but my phone's about to die. I'm about to bounce out of here. I'll catch you guys. I'll replay later and see what I missed.
All right.
All
Thanks.
right.
Hey.
Thanks for joining. All right. So that's my. What's that?
I love BJ.
BJ.
Yeah, I love him.
So Dunlap says, Chubb. And I guess if we weren't playing for the Browns, if we were playing for any of the three other teams, I think if we asked the same question, Chubb would be the unanimous answer.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely.
But quarterback-wise, who scares you the most?
Well, Big Ben's off that list now. I'm still, even though he won the MVP, I'm still not sold on Lamar Jackson. The one that scares me the most is Joe Burrow right now, because I have a feeling that the Bengals and Browns rivalry might be coming back very soon. It might be Boomer and Bernie time again.
That'll be good times ahead. And, Eric says Lamar.
I mean,
Lamar, he's gotten the job done. I love to hate on Lamar, but he's gotten it done.
I know he has. Don't get me wrong. Lamar scares me because he can run. But I think with the upgrades that we made on defense, we have people that can run with him now.
JOK is like a hybrid linebacker safety that's going to be able to spy Lamar and actually have a chance to wrap him up.
And so is Tony Fields, too. I mean, it's JOK, too.
So, all right. Defensively, I think the Ravens are still probably on top of the division defensively.
Even though they lost some pass rushers, though.
They did. They have one of the premier cornerbacks in the league. They've definitely got a lot of talent, but they did lose some pass rushers.
Who are you talking about, Humphrey?
Yeah, I mean,
really? Hold on.
You guys are just mad. I hear you. He's a biological terrorist.
Hey, no. That's completely fine. Hey, let's Juice on him again. Juice will punch him in the face, and then we'll move on.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm referring to Humphrey. He's probably a top 5 cornerback.
All right, I guess. I mean, if that's what you believe.
Dude's solid. He's solid. He's an asshole. I don't like him, but he's solid.
Well, true. All right. All right. I get you.
So defensively, are you most worried about the Ravens in the division, Fatty?
You always still have to worry about Steelers defense. Steelers defense, no matter what happens, you still have TJ Watt. You got Mika there still. And they always churn out linebackers like crazy. Steelers will always scare me on defense until, granted, we kicked their ass, but it was a lot of turnovers and a lot of points in the red zone. But that defense still scares me. And that's the one thing I love about the AFC North is because they still play defense. You still have the Ravens that always have a good defense. You have the Steelers that are known for their defense, and then you have the Bengals who are known for their convicts and their cheap shots that they do on defense. So they all have a different style, but always good defense in the AFC North.
All right, so we are closing in to the end of the show. Keep in mind, anytime we go live, and we will be back 2 weeks from tonight, we will be going back to weekly episodes. So we will be on every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Anybody can join the Browns table at any given time. All you got to do is click the link in the comments, join us via audio or video. There's still a few minutes left to join us tonight if you want to, quote unquote, bring something to table, as we like to say. Now, Fatty, I know that there's something that we were talking about off the air over the past couple of days and seemed to really grind your gears. And that was this whole OTA talk that's been going around, because there's a key word that goes in front of OTA and it grinds your gears. Why don't we talk about that?
It's voluntary.
So what's the issue? For those that aren't paying attention, what's the issue?
Everybody is freaking out that the Browns offense is not in Berea right now, working out with the rest of the team. And you know something? I don't care. Last year proved to you that you did not need to be there. And for one, they're still working out together. Granted, it's not Maria, but they're still working out together. I'm sorry that the coaches aren't there that people want to have, but are you kidding me right now? It's voluntary. Would you want to go to work if you had a voluntary? No. Nobody wants to go to work on voluntary time.
So let me ask you this, because some players have run into some trouble, most notably in Denver. One of their guys missed out on over $10 million, if I remember correctly, because he injured himself outside of the facility, working out on his own. What do you think of that? I mean, is that too much of a risk?
He was also about to get cut anyways. So it didn't matter at that point in time. Yes, I understand. But let's just hypothetically say Lamar gets injured, not at the wonderful facilities on his time. You think they're going to do that to him? No. They're not going to do that to him. They're not going to do it to any star player. So at that point in time, you need to be comfortable in your position and where you're at on the team, and then you can do stuff like that. Like Rodgers, there it is. Rodgers won't be in Green Bay.
Rodgers, man, we're getting off the Browns topic here, but Rodgers is the other big story in the NFL outside of the Julio Jones stuff. And for those of you that don't know, I have the Gingers Talk Football podcast, and we cover the entire landscape of the NFL. Fatty has the illegal ham to the face. He covers all the Cleveland and Ohio sports. But what I'm getting at is, when we're talking on the Gingers Talk Football podcast, Aaron Rodgers has been a hot topic over the past couple of weeks, and we've really dug in and looked closely at the situation. He has every reason not to play. But, it's one of those things where you're right, Fatty. If you're a star player, maybe they treat it a little bit differently. But if OBJ tears his ACL working out down in Austin with Baker,
I hope you knocked on wood. What are you doing? Why would you bring
just knocked on wood? If he tears his ACL, knock on wood, at the charity softball game, I mean, did they set a precedent where the Browns can get out of his contract?
Okay, at that point in time, he's doing something different than football. If it was a softball game, I'd be completely pissed off about.
Yeah.
But if he's working out with Baker and it happens, I'm not upset about that. Like Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett did the same thing, and I got playing basketball. That's why he's retired now. If he did that playing basketball, what are you doing, dude? Like, it is not your profession right now. You are getting paid how many millions of dollars to play football? All right. If you want to work out on your own, do it on your own. That's fine. But when it's time for mandatory, you're here. As long as they're there for the mini camp and training camp, I do not give two flying shits about voluntary and OTAs. You want to know why? Because it is a glorified walkthrough.
Emphasis on voluntary.
Voluntary.
All right. I agree with you 100%. I agree completely. Voluntary means voluntary. I don't think we should be making a big deal about where these guys are working out at. As long as these guys are, I love that they're getting together. They're still in Austin working out and, throwing passes and catching balls. What's that?
They'll be here for minicamp in 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So what the hell does it matter?
It doesn't.
I don't. Everybody's freaking out. Oh my God, Kansas City. They're all there. Baltimore. Did you see Big Ben throw a wounded duck there in Pittsburgh? I saw one from Lamar Jackson at Baltimore. What does it matter if they're throwing? As long as they're working out, they're not coming into training camp like Dwayne Bowe just shuffling through on his walker trying to collect a check. I don't care. As long as you're out, I don't care. Come back in football shape. You have a job to do.
Agreed. 100%. Anything else you want to bring to the table or be passionate about tonight, Fatty, before we close out the show?
Not really. I mean, we have some behind the scenes stuff coming for our next episode on June, was it 22nd?
Oh, yes. And we keep teasing a giveaway, which is going to happen. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger. So bear with us. I promise it's coming.
Is it going to get bigger and bigger?
It keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Does it keep getting bigger and bigger?
It does.
All right. Well, stay tuned to the Browns table because behind the scenes, there's a lot of stuff going on that are probably going to shock some people. So we're just going to keep it at that, keep that underneath. But pay attention on Twitter and Facebook, especially for maybe an announcement at some point in time here within the next week or so.
With that being said, if you have watched this show and enjoyed it for even just 1 minute, the best way you can help us out right now is to give us a follow on Twitter, a like on Facebook, or most importantly, a subscribe on YouTube for you YouTubers out there. We would certainly appreciate that. And you can
Twitch. You got us on Twitch. Do not forget Twitch. Give love.
Okay. We're on Twitch. Twitch.tv/the Browns Table. That was new for tonight. I don't know if we got any viewers, but we said, why not? Why not just shoot it over to Twitch, see what happens? That's more of a gaming thing, but hey, if we can go live, why not? It's a click of a button. Yeah, find us on YouTube, search up the Browns Table, Facebook and Twitter. We're at the Browns Table, and we'd love to interact with you there. Send us a DM. Join us not next Tuesday, the following Tuesday, the 22nd.
Vacation, right? You're going to Carolinas?
I am going to Gatlinburg,
Tennessee. Oh my God.
Tennessee.
Smoky Mountains.
I'm going to get some of that Tennessee whiskey.
Oh, glorious time. Glorious time down there.
But so we'll be off next week. Coming back the week after, we'll be an every week episode again. So once a week, every Tuesday.
No, it might not be an hour long, though. Remind them of that. It might be like a 30 or 45-minute episode.
Yes, some of it's going to depend on how much is in the news, how much there's to talk about, what's hot, whether or not you guys come on and join us and talk. We want to talk with all of you guys and hang out. So definitely join the show via audio or video on our next episodes. So,
all right.
Anything else, Fatty?
On my show, this is my one catchphrase as I roll out with. I'm definitely uncorked and unloaded.
Don't forget to check out Fatty's podcast, Illegal Him to the Face. And you can check out my podcast, Ginger's Talk Football. For tonight, thanks for watching the Browns Table. We appreciate you. We'll see you next time. Go Browns.
Go Browns.